everybody, and welcome to Crochet by Starlight. Today we are going to be crocheting this adorable little crisscross head warmer, ear warmer here, and I've used a really pretty kind of a greenish teal color for the sample, and it's going to be really simple, really quick to work up. This one is for an adult size. You can easily adjust this bigger or smaller to accommodate a child or a large adult size or an infant. All you have to do is start your foundation at the amount of chains that'll get you to the width that you're going to want to go around the head. And so just measure the head or use a chart and find out how many inches you're going to need to go around, and then just chain up that many chains and you're good to go. The only thing that I want to remind you about with this pattern is that you'll need to use an even number. So any increment of 2. So if you want to chain for a smaller infant, then just chain it in an even amount of chains and you're good to go. So let's go ahead and get started. So today I'm going to use this really pretty tangerine. You're going to need a pair of scissors, a 5mm H crochet hook, if you'd like to use a stitch marker, and you're also going to need a blunt darning needle to weave in those ends. So if you've got all your goodies, let's get ready and let's get started. So to begin, we're going to use a foundation double crochet, and we're using the foundation chain so that we can get a lot of stretch in our band so it's nice and stretchy. If you use a regular double crochet or a regular chain foundation, it'll be a lot tighter. These chains won't be as elastic and as stretchy, and so that can change the way that this fits and feels. It won't have any stretch and give to it, so it might be a little tight on the tight side. So if you've got your yarn, we're going to make our slip knot or a slip stitch. Wrap it around your 2 fingers, crisscross it over the back, insert your hook under that first loop, grab that second and pull it through. So like I said, we're going to use a foundation double crochet for our chain. We're going to do a chain of 4. If you don't know how to do this, there are lots of tutorials available that'll help you, but I'm going to try to walk it through nice and slow for you. So we've chained 4. We're going to insert our hook, we're going to yarn over. Then we're going to insert our hook into that very first chain that we made, and I'm putting it through both bars, the front bar and that middle bar. Draw through both of those. Okay, so here's the kicker. For the foundation double crochet, you're going to yarn over and draw through that first loop only, and that's going to create your foundation chain on the bottom. So we're going to work 2 steps. We're going to do our foundation chain, which is this, and then our double crochet. So you're getting killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. So that's our foundation chain. Now we're going to yarn over and make our double crochet. 1 and 2. So we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to insert our hook into the foundation chain, draw through, create a new one, yarn through that first loop, 2, and double crochet. Okay, so now you have your 2 chains. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, create your chain, create your double crochet. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to chain 64. So go ahead, and when you get your 64 foundation double crochets, I will meet you back up here. Okay, I've done my 64 foundation double crochets, and now I'm going to join them. So I'm turning it over, making sure that it's nice and straight, and I'm going to join it to this first chain of our first double crochet with a slip stitch, join. So you'll have this bit of opening on the bottom. What I like to do, just so it makes it a little easier, is I'll put my hook through and I'll draw that loop through just to kind of cinch it until I'm done. And if you want to draw through another one just to make sure it's good and cinched, it just makes me feel better. And then when I'm done, I'll use my darning needle and I'll officially cinch that up. So insert back into my top loop here, and you're going to want to chain one. You're going to work a single crochet in the same space as your chain one, so insert your hook into the same space as your chain one and work a single crochet. And then what you're going to do is you're going to single crochet all the way around. So you should have 64 single crochets. So go ahead and work your single crochets all the way around. I'm going to work mine, and I will join you back up when you have finished all 64 single crochets. Okay, so I have my 64 single crochets all the way around, and this is what it's looking like so far. And you can see it's nice and stretchy, so when it fits over your head, it's not going to be so tight it's cutting off some circulation. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw this loop a little more, and you're going to go ahead and we're going to start our crisscrosses. So we're going to work a chain one. Whoops, if I can grab that. And then we're going to insert into this first stitch, draw up a loop. We're going to keep it kind of tall. Skip one, insert into the next one, draw up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to go into that first one, draw up a loop, and then back into our second one, draw up a loop. Back into the first, draw up a loop, and then into the second, draw up a loop. So you're working in that first one, you skip, and then the third. So you have all these loops on your hook, yarn over, draw through all of them, and a chain one. And that's our first crisscross puff stitch. So you're going to do that all the way around. You're going to start the next puff stitch in that same stitch that you ended the first one in. So we got our loop on our hook, insert into that stitch, draw up a loop. You're going to keep it tall, skip a stitch, insert into that one, draw up a loop. Go back into the first one, draw up a loop, and you're going to do it back and forth 3 times. So that's our second time and our third time. Okay, so you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops on your hook, yarn over, draw through, chain one. I'll do it one last time. We're going to insert our hook into the last loop, the last stitch that we worked, draw up a loop, skip one, insert our hook into the next, draw up a loop, go into that first stitch, draw up a loop, the last stitch, draw up a loop, first stitch, draw up a loop, last stitch, draw up a loop. You have 7 loops, yarn over, draw through all 7, chain one. You're going to work this around for a total of 5 rows, and this is 5 rows worth there. So I'm going to go ahead and work this first row and show you how to finish it and how to start the next one, and I will meet you up in just a bit. Okay, so I'm nearing, the end of round 1, and I just pulled my yarn, so I have to redo this puff stitch. So we'll do this last puff stitch before the last puff stitch. And there we go. Okay, so to work your very last puff stitch for the round, you're going to begin it like you do any other puff stitch, drop your loop, and then you're going to just work it in that space right here next to the first puff stitch. And our last one, yarn over, chain one, and then you're going to slip stitch into the top of that first puff stitch. There you go. So then you want to chain one, and you're going to start row 2's puffs right in that same chain one space. So you're going to insert, drop a loop, then you're going to skip one and then insert into the next, drop a loop, and then just keep going from there all the way around. And that is going to be 5 rounds. So this is round 1, round 2. You're going to have finish round 2, work round 3, round 4, and round 5 of the puff stitches. And then I will join you back up once you've got all 5 rounds of your puff stitches complete. Okay, so how did everybody do? I finished my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of my crisscross puff stitches. So now we're on our final 2 rows of our project. So I have my chain one here. I'm going to add a single crochet into that same space as my chain one, and then I'm going to single crochet all the way around. So I'll have 64 single crochets all the way around. And go ahead and work all your 64 single crochets, and I'll be right back. Single crochets are done. Now for our final round, we are just going to double crochet in each across. So chain one, add 1 double crochet into the same stitch as the chain one, and then work your double crochets in each stitch all the way around. So you'll have 64 double crochets, and I'll join you back up so we can see how you did at the end. And there we have it. Our crisscross ear warmer is complete. I'm just going to cut my yarn now, pull my tail through, and then weave in my ends, and it's done. So you can size up, size down, basing that upon your foundation double crochet row and how long you make that stitch. If you want to make it longer, you add more. If you want to make it smaller, you add fewer. You can use whatever size hook works best for you, whatever size yarn. This is a 4 worsted weight. If you want to use a 5 bulky or a super bulky, you can do that. You'll just need to adjust your foundation chain as necessary to get the right size that you're looking for. If you've enjoyed watching this video and learning how to do this crisscross ear warmer, I would appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And if you want to receive notifications when new videos are posted, please hit that little bell to be notified when a new video is uploaded. And as always, happy hooking!